Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. If you're new to this channel, my name is Daniel Cervantes. I'm a licensed mental health counseling associate. It's one step away from a full 4-letter, which is the licensed mental health counselor. And on my channel, which is the Christian Adventure Gamer, and I go by Daniel the Paladin, thanks to some friends that have given me that name. Actually, one friend in particularly that gave me that name. I do gameplay, I do some reviews. Here soon I'll be doing some painting. And then I also like to talk about how to use the games in therapy, or what you can use therapy. But first off, before I dive into the game that we have today, I'm going to show you this little stuffed Thor doll right here. As you can see, I have a contest going on my Facebook page, and so you'll see that down below in the info section, the link to my Facebook page. And if you go to that post and you comment, first you have to like and share the post, and you can comment your favorite Thor quote, and that's how you can win this little Thor plush doll here. And then also I'm running a contest for You Gotta Be Kidding Me. It's a bluffing game. It's kind of like Liar's Dice. So in that same suit. If you go to my previous video that I posted this week of You Gotta Be Kidding Me, you can comment your favorite cat quote. You can talk about a silly story of a cat, a silly cat name, and yeah, part of that is also you have to be a subscriber to my channel. So if you're not a subscriber, go ahead and click subscribe and go and look for that previous video of You Gotta Be Kidding Me. And then I have another way you can win a copy. Is if you go to my Facebook page and you see the post where I shared that video, you can share a cat meme, you can talk about a silly cat story, you can share an encourageable cat poster or a silly cat picture, and also like and share my page in that link as well. So those are the ways that you can win these 3 items. Alright, so to get into what we're talking about today we're going to take a look at Grimm Forest by Druid City Games. This is a 2 to 4 player game, ages 14 and up, and 40 to 60 minutes. And so, let's take this big old box down to the table and see how it's played. Alright, so when you first start this game, you have various players and player boards. And so you actually have the pigs. And so the story is that the 3 little pigs have retired, or actually they went senile if I remember correctly. And so their nieces and nephews are coming in and trying to, build houses for the kingdom. And so you have, I'll show you some of these miniatures. They're actually really great detail. The brick laying pig. See here? There's a shadow, so let me zoom in. You have the market pig. This is the harvesting pig. Obviously it's got straw. It's got a scythe there. These things are going to be amazing to paint, and I'm going to do a video of me painting all these miniatures. So be on lookout for that. Best way to be on lookout for that is subscribe to my channel. This is the wood pig. And not only do you have the pigs, but you get some of the Grimm creatures. So you have the big bad wolf here. You have this dragon here. This is awesome. I'm excited to paint this thing. You have the giant. You have a troll. The troll that's underneath the bridge. Beautiful, beautiful miniature. Then you have 2 wolves. Both the same. Alright. And so, after you figure out how many players there are going to be, you would separate separate all of the resources. So I'll just take these off here. And let's say we're going to play a 2-player game. So I'll move that out of the way. Now let's say I'm going to pick this pig here. I'm going to move this out of the way. Move that guy out of the way. And then we're just going to have these two here. Okay? Alright, so then you're going to have these player boards out here, or these resource boards, I think you call them. You have fields, where you gather straw or hay. You have the forest. Then you have brickyard. Okay? You actually have a market card, but that's only for 4 players. And so, on this one, you actually lay these resources out every turn. So you put 5 straw, 4 wood, 3 brick. But if you have the market out, you're going to put 1 of each resource on this here. Okay? And then you're going to put down these first builder reward or award tokens here. I think they're best described as a reward because you get them as a reward. And so then you pass out 1 reference card to each player. That way they can take, that way they can keep track of what's going on each phase. And then you're going to hand out those resource cards. So, see, I have green, and then I need purple. And then you get the player start token. Looks like a little book on a pedestal. And so let's say the green guy is the first player, just for the sake of time. Okay. Then I'm going to take the Fable cards. I'll shuffle them up, set them out. I'm going to take the friend cards, shuffle them up, and set them out. And then on our turns to begin, we look here. It says gather phase. So start of round, choose a gather and Fable card. Well, the first round you don't have to worry about Fable cards. It's the second round and after that you have to worry about that. So then you would, if you had a Fable card, you'd reveal, and then you'd gather cards, move to gather locations, collect resources in the gather phase. And so in a 2-player game, you actually use this die here. And the book tells you that is Prince, let's see here, Prince Wriggle. He's a neutral player, and basically on the beginning of the turn, before you choose your gather card, you would roll this die, and so there is a straw, so I'm going to take half the straw away, rounded down, so I'm only going to end up taking 2, so I'll put 3 here. Now we can choose our resource, so I'm going to pick the resource that I want, and you have 4 in your hand because you're going to have a market. And so I'm going to get rid of the market because we're not playing with 4 players. And likewise, and so they have here the market card, so they get rid of that. They have a wood gathering card, brick gathering card, and straw gathering card. And so they're going to pick that. So let's say they want to get brick. And so let's say they put that face down. Okay? And then let's say I want brick as well. So I'm going to choose that. All right. Well, I'm going to put it face down so no one can see it. Then I'm going to count to 3. 1, 2, 3. Then we both reveal our cards. So we're going to move our miniatures to that location. Okay? And now we have to share that resource. But there's only 3. So how do we share it? Does one person get one more than the other? No. So what's going to happen is I'm actually going to get 1 resource. The other person is going to get 1 resource. And then there's going to be 1 resource left on the board here. Voila. Right? Okay. Then we take our miniatures back to our location. And since I'm the first player, I'll flip over my phase card here. And they'll flip over their phase card too. And then I can either build a house section, draw 1 Fable card, gain a straw, wood, or a brick, or take a special action once per turn. Well, I don't have any way to use a special action right now, so I can just ignore that. And the card also talks about a wall bonus. Gain a friend when you build a wall, keep them or give to another player. First builder bonus, the first player to complete a house of a type gains 1 friend, 2 Fable cards, and or 1 of each resource. So you don't actually get all 3. When we flip this over, that's what those dashes mean. It says a friend, 2 fables, or 1 of each resource. So you get a choice of that. So, moving forward. But good thing it says it right here on these little nifty little turn order cards. Those are very handy to have in any game. Okay, so I'm actually going to take a fable card, and I'm going to take a brick. Alright, and so let's say this person takes a fable card. So they're going to take this one. It says Royal Wedding. And let's say they choose that they want to take another fable card. Okay, that says Wishing Well. And so a Wishing Well says when revealed, exchange any 2 placed gather cards before they are revealed. And I'll explain how that one goes. And then I have Royal Wedding. This one says when revealed, play on a location, end of gathering phase. All players not in this location must discard 1 resource of their choice. Discard Royal Wedding if no players are in this location. Okay, and the card I got was Wandering Trader, which says end of gather phase. All players in your location may trade 2 of any 1 resource for 3 of another type of resources. Alright, so I put those in my hand. And so let's say, first off, before we go to the next round, we have to replenish. So we add 5 here, 4 here, and 3 here. And then this gets passed to player number 2. We're going to roll the die, and we're going to take half of here. So we have 8. So we're going to take that away, just add 1 more to give it 4. Okay? And so let's say I'm going to play those 2 cards. And this person is going to take their fable cards, put it in with their gather cards, and they're going to pick cards to play. So they're going to put that down, and let's say they put, let's say that down. Actually, let's say no. So they put that down. And then we're going to count again. 1, 2, 3, and flip. Actually, first, we're going to reveal the fable cards in turn order. So this one says, the Wishing Well. Reveal when revealed, exchange any 2 played gather cards before they are revealed. So that makes us have to swap cards here. In a 4-player game, it would be different. And so then I'll play end of gather phase. It says Wandering Trader. So I'll flip this and play this. And the rules say I can peek at my new resource. Okay, so now we're going to count to 3. 1, 2, 3, and flip. Okay, now I get to gather brick. Actually, first she goes, so she gathers straw. So she would move her location here, and she would gather the straw. And then I'd move my person to this location and gather the brick. Alright, and so I played Wandering Trader, so I could trade any of my 2 resources for 3 of any of another type. So I think I'm going to trade. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to trade anything because obviously I used that planning to get straw. So that was a waste for me. So that's how that person thwarted my plan. Okay, and so she's going to go first. She's going to move her person back, and let's say she decides she wants to build a straw floor. Okay, so she's going to put these back, and then she's going to get a straw floor and put it anywhere on her board. And that's what's really nice about this board is you have room for houses and such. Okay, the way the game ends is when the first person completes 3 houses, and then that player is the winner. All right, and so that was one action she used, and so let's say she wants to gain another fable card for her action. All right, so then it's my turn. Well, I'm going to take 2. I'm going to build a brick floor. Then I'm going to take this 4, because if you look on the back of the little phase card, it tells you a floor costs 2, walls cost 4, and a roof costs 6. So I'm just going to use my whole turn to build sections of this brick house. Okay, and then I put that there, and voila, I got a little brick house, and I get a friend for building a wall. I got Jack the Giant Slayer. It says, after gather cards are revealed, add 2 resources to your location, one of one type produced there. And it says discard Jack to cancel the effects of the giant. Alright, so then we start over again. So we have to replenish. So boom, boom, and boom. Okay, and now we don't actually roll this die because there's actually 12 wood, and so we actually have to get rid of 6. So I'll just get rid of those, add 2 there, so there's 6. Alright, put that back in my hand. I don't have any other Fable cards, but they take a look at their own cards, and this gets turned over to me. Alright. And so they're in the verge to building straw. And so let's say they're going to play these 2 cards there. Looking at my cards. Oh, hold on. I got to give them my card back. So I take that card and give them that card. And so I'm going to go there. Alright. So then we're going to flip over the Fable cards in order. So they're playing Royal Wedding, and they're going to play it on the straw. It says when revealed, play on a location. Into the gathering phase, all players not on this in this location must discard 1 resource of their choice. And also, I wanted to note that you don't actually have to build houses in order. And I say that, and I'm rethinking how I said that. So basically, you can have multiple houses started, but you cannot build past a type that has not gone further than what you're trying to build. For instance, so I can have a brick house, a straw house, and a wood house all started, and it could be in any phase. But if I have a brick house, let's say I have the floor and the walls, I can have another brick house, but I cannot have more than the brick and the wall, or the floor and the walls, because I have to complete the first one before I can complete the next one. If that makes sense. Alright, so she's going to reveal, on the count of 3, we will reveal our cards. So she's got straw, and I've got brick. Alright, so she's actually, well, before we go any further, I have to add 2 resources to my location. So I got that, because of Jack the Giant Slayer. And then she is going to gather her 5 hay, or straw, move back. I'm going to gather my 5 brick, but because I wasn't in the straw at the end of the gathering phase, I have to discard 1 resource. So I'm going to get rid of 1 brick, which kind of stinks. So then that would go back in my hand. This would go back in her hand. But then now it's my turn to take my build phase. So I'm going to, since I don't have enough to complete the house, I'm going to draw 1 Fable card. And then let's say I'm just going to draw another one. Okay. So I have Roar. I have consult the Oracle. It says end of gathering phase. If you are alone at a location, you may take 1 random Fable card from each other player's hand. The Roar says all opponents who share your location shuffle all their gather cards and randomly select 1 and move to that location. So that's really nice. Okay, and then she is going to start building more of her house. So she's got, say, 4 here. So she'll get 1 back. So she'll get a wall. And then she'll get a friend for building that. And she's got Puss in Boots. Special action. Build a house section. You may pay part of the cost using 1 resource from another player's board. Okay? And then she's got 3, so she can't do anything else. But she thinks it's wise to go ahead and get some more straw. So this will stay here, and then we re-up everything. So that goes there. We got another 4 wood here, and then we have brick there. Alright, so now there's 10 wood here. So we don't roll this. This does get passed. So we get rid of 5 of the wood because of a 2-player game. Then we pick our cards. And then she's going to take her cards. Let's say she only decides to do that one. And then she's going to reveal it, and then that's where she's going. So she has to go to the wood. Okay? And then I would reveal mine. So I'm going to the straw. Okay? And so then Jack is going to let me put 2 straw there. And she would gather her wood, even though that's not what she wanted, but she has to get rid of one because she wasn't at the royal wedding. And so then I would collect all this straw here. And I move back. Then, since she goes first, she can take her turn. Well, she doesn't have the resources she needs, so her first action is going to take a straw, but then she's going to use Puss in Boots to pay 5 straw and make me pay for 1, and then she's going to get a roof. Okay? Then that means she's going to get this reward bonus. So she can either take a friend, 2 fable cards, or 1 of each resource. So, you know what? She is going to take 2 fable cards. That's what she's going to do. And that's how the game is played over a series of rounds. First you have your gather phase, then your build phase. And eventually you're going to find fable cards that allow you to pull out the other monsters and place them in locations, which is then going to affect how you gather things. Alright, so now that we have a gist of how to play, let's take it back up top and give our final thoughts. So first thing I want to comment on is the accessory trays that this thing comes with, as you can see here. It comes with holders for the houses and the supplies. So it comes with 2 of those. It comes with a holder for the miniatures. So you have the 4 pigs that players can be. You have the big bad wolf. You have your player boards here. They all go. And it's really cool. Here, I'll put them back. A little slot here where those actually sit too. So, and then you take all those out. You can just reach in there and grab them all. And that's some really good cardboard too. That's thick cardboard. I don't know if you can see that. Hold up the camera. That's really thick cardboard. And then you have your cards here. And you have your supply slot or supplies marker. Here you have your gather cards. That's what they're called, gather cards. Then you have, every player gets a player phase card. On the back side there's the build phase, tells you what you can do in order. The only complaint I have is that there are quite a few fable cards, and there's a little indicator here that shows you your friend cards, because it's a signal of the rose, insignia of the rose there. And then you have a feather here, insignia of the fable card. And there's actually quite a few fable cards, and they don't all fit properly in that slot. So I had to take some out and put it in underneath the friends, just so they weren't sliding over the box when I was traveling. And then you have this die here, just like you've seen in the video. That is used for 2-player game only. And then you remove those, and then here you have the first to build reward tokens. And you have your house, your brick, and your straw. Sorry, your wood, your brick, and your straw house. Another thing about this game is that I like the rule book. The rule book is so very simple. Okay, it's not that long. The rules are maybe you got your game overview, you have your setup, then you have gameplay on page 5, then you have your build phase page 6, you have cleanup on page 7, and then game end on page 8. So not very long. Then you have an index for every single card. So you have your Fable cards, and they go all the way through to your friend cards and all the way to the back of the book for your friend cards. So every card tells you how it is played. So if you read the card, you're not quite sure, you can always refer to this reference. And that's awesome. Not every game comes with those. Okay. And I love simple, easy rules. When I first seen this game, well, when I first heard of this game was at Gen Con last year. And I didn't get a chance to demo it. I thought it was actually something based on the Grimm fairy tales, which it is kind of. I mean, it has some of the characters and stuff from the Grimm fairy tales, and that's why I assume they call it the Grimm Forest or whatever. But I didn't realize it was like a resource management, worker placement type game. And that's what this is. But it's very fun, it's very engaging, it's fast, it's easy to learn. Okay, one other cool thing that I found out about this game is that I removed this tray here, and obviously I didn't have all these cardboard punch outs here, but there's a piece of cardboard out there, so I actually took that out just to see. And what I found, now maybe other people haven't found this either, but it actually might be there, is I found a promo Fable card. And this says, Genie, end of gather phase. If you are in a location with another player, you may immediately build a floor or walls for half the cost. If the magic lamp is in the discard pile, you may instead build a floor or walls for free. And so I found that right here. And so that was awesome. That was an awesome find there. I mean, even though it may not be that great of a thing, but anytime you find something extra, especially when it had a card sleeve on it that told me that was a promo, and that was the only one in there. I do believe that there's nothing else yet, so there's only that one card. And so you may explore your copy if you have one. Put those back inside. And so when I played this game, I actually played it. I played it at Origins for the first time I demoed it, and that's when I picked it up. Okay, me and my wife played it, and we played a 2-player game. And so, like this die, on a 2-player game, you roll this die. This signifies some kind of prince who gathers half the resources of a tile. So you'd roll that, and like that one says a brick, so he would take half the bricks. Okay. However, the rules say that if there are 10 or more items of a certain kind of supply on their tile, the prince would automatically take half. So if there's, say that there's 10 hay, he's automatically going to take 5. So you know that for sure. And so overall components, I give him a 10. Okay, I give him a 10 out of 10 on the components. The cards are great. No complaints there. We played it, shuffled it, and there's no edging. And so that means that they're very good quality card stock. The player boards are thick cardboard. Awesome. The thing I enjoyed the most about this game, other than the game itself, is that they gave you all the trays in this game automatically. So you don't have to worry about going out and buying stuff to put the little tokens in. They give you something. And the miniatures are beautiful. So like I have a pig here, green pig. And so I'm actually going to paint all these guys. So be looking for that video. I just wanted to do the review first because I was so excited after I played this game that I thought I needed to share my excitement with people. And it's not like a dungeon crawl. It's not an adventure game by any means. It's a worker placement, resource management type of game. For what it is, I highly recommend this game. At first, I wasn't. When I first seen the game being played on other people's videos, I was like, well, that's not what I expected, so I think I'm just not going to play it. But when I played it at Origins, I was very surprised on how well it played and how it played. And then now that I got it home, just playing it, I want to play it more. Like, after this video, I'm probably going to go play it with my wife because she enjoys it too. And so I would highly recommend this game for families. young couples, older couples, about anyone that likes worker placement games. And this game is simple enough for kids. I think it says 14 and up. I think a 10-year-old could learn this game easily. But we can talk about more of that when we go to the therapy corner. And so again, if you're new to my channel, go ahead and hit that like button and hit subscribe, and be looking out for more contests. And as I said before in the beginning of this video, I have those contests going for the You Gotta Be Kidding Me and the Thor. So be looking at my Facebook page and for that other video. And so let's go to therapy corner. Alright, so I just want to say again that I am actually very pleased with the quality, the production quality of this game. It's by Druid City Games. I'm very pleased with the cover art. I'm very pleased with the art in the box. I think that's very engaging, especially when in therapy, because a lot of therapists are starting to use art therapy. And by looking at some of this artwork and stuff, kids can start to have an imagination. People can start to have an imagination of the various worlds, like obviously the Grimm world, and that can spur them to want to draw things, make stories of their own up, and things like that. This game, I think, works good on problem-solving skills. I think any worker placement game is going to be good on that, because you have to place your pig. Well, first you take your gather card, okay, and then simultaneously you flip it over, and then you can try to hopefully go to a location where no one else is going, or you have to share resources. So then again, you're learning about sharing. And then you're learning about trying to complete your own tasks by using the resources that you have, the means that you have. So there you have problem-solving skill. And then you're learning, some cooperation because of the sharing, simple stuff like that. And then, you are learning how to assert yourself by using those fable cards to kind of thwart other people's plans, or you're learning how to build self-esteem in a sense, because with the aids of the friend cards, you are starting to realize that you have more of an advantage at times, and that can boost self-esteem because you are able to access the resources that are helping you to win. So if someone is losing, again, that's frustration management. You encourage the kids to think about what they have. Okay, let's look over here. Okay, so what other resources do you have that can help you right now? So you're encouraging them, because if you just tell a kid what they have, they may become bitter. It's better to use what's called motivational interviewing to help them understand what resources they have available to them. So I would say, so I see that you have, all these bricks, all these wood, all these straw, whatever. Like, what else do you have that could really help you to get the advantage right now? And so then that forces them to think and look at their own stuff, and then they say whatever friend card they have. Oh, I have this. Oh, that's great. That's great that you recognize that you had that. So then you're providing, validation and encouragement and affirmation. And so I think that those are really great skills to work with in therapy to help kids understand better problem-solving skills by having them actually take a look at what they have at their availability. So, alright, hopefully you've liked this video. If you have, go ahead and hit that like button. And I'll see you guys next time.